Hello guys, Luke here and welcome to a brand new series of FIFA 17 career mode that I'm going to be doing. It is called Transfer Time, and essentially what I'm going to be doing is just going through the transfer windows with a whole bunch of different teams on career mode. Now the first episode we're going to be doing is going to be Liverpool, as you can tell by the title, and I'm very interested to see what sort of team we can end up with after this first transfer window. I should point out there's been some things done on FIFA 16 on this sort of series, but I thought everyone always seems to buy the same players, and I'm not about using the same players every single career mode. So we'll be looking to use a variety of different players, some that are very popular, some that might not be so popular. It just depends team by team and what I feel like buying at the time. Now this skin right here is the preseason tournament invitations, and it might seem a bit relevant, but I'll explain why it's not really relevant, and that reason is the potential prize money. Now, I could go for the most expensive one, but it's got some difficult teams there, and Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, not someone who I really want to come up against, to be honest, and as I'm going to be simulating these games. Looking at this Invitational Cup, I think this is kind of sort of the middle ground one, and I think it's something that we can win, while this one would be a guaranteed win here. You could go for the guaranteed win here. I'm going to go for the extra prize money and just hope that we can beat, PSG or Atletico, because that'd be our two main competition. So 9.35 million, that'd be great if we can get that extra little bonus transfer money. So the initial budget they actually given is 61 million with a wage budget of 254,000. So it is a pretty big transfer budget there. Although if you're thinking you can go in and buy like a Neymar or someone, it's not going to happen. Yeah, good luck trying to get Neymar. So the transfer, although that looks like a lot, you can maybe get one or two star players, or you can go for a few squad players. It all depends on what you'd rather. Okay, so here is Liverpool's initial squad, straight from the latest squad update that I've done. So depending on when you watch this video, it might be a little bit different, a few ratings and that sort of stuff. But I know from playing with Liverpool, because I got an offline career mode with Liverpool, that this side is absolutely deadly, like straight from the get-go. So there's not too much you need to do to it. However, you do have a fair amount of transfer budget to do some improvements. So, like, I should just stress that this is just personal preferences. Obviously, what I pick doesn't mean you have to pick that sort of stuff. You don't have to sell these players or buy these players. It's just, yeah, like I said, personal preference. One position I'm going to highlight is the left back position. Moreno, he's 77 rated, which is the weakest in the starting lineup there. And I've got to say, Moreno is very good on the game. Let me tell you that much. So feel free to keep him around as a backup. He's quite good. Or even as a starter if you would rather invest in a striker or a winger or something. But yeah, Moreno is the weakest player in my opinion. At least ratings-wise. If you're a big ratings person, Moreno is who you want to get rid of. But, I mean, to be fair, I don't think you need to get rid of any of these players. Another player I've highlighted here is Coutinho. Not because you could sell him or anything or replace him, just purely on where you'd rather play him. Would you rather play him on the left wing or in the centre mid positions? Because the centre mids are absolutely stacked here. Emre Can can grow very well. Firmino, you can play him there. Milner. There's so many different players. Grujic, however you pronounce his name. He can play there and he'll grow on to be a sick player. Even Kevin Stewart and players like that. Yeah, it just all depends on that. And there's no real decent left wingers in the Liverpool team, so that's a position I would definitely go for. One player I would definitely look to get rid of is Sarko. Now, obviously, in real life, he's on the out at Liverpool, and with Lovren and Matip there, he's just unnecessary. And if you can get a good fee for him, Barcelona came in a few times for me in my saves. Definitely feel free to get rid of him. Even Lovren but Matip I'd probably keep, but Sarko or Lovren, I would definitely look to get rid of one of them. Lucas is another one, although he's really good and I like him in real life. He is 29 years old, and if you want to get the maximum amount of money for him, probably look to get rid of him. You can cover a position, Emre Can's there, and he wouldn't be a starter for me or probably majority of people out there doing Liverpool career mode. So yeah, feel free to get rid of Lucas. But to be honest, I probably wouldn't transfer list a lot of these players. I just wait to see if an offer comes in on them just to try and maximize the amount of money you can get. Okay, the first player I'm looking at is Stefan El Shaarawy. Now, a few FIFAs ago, this guy was every single person would try and get this guy at some point in career mode. I think maybe about FIFA 12. Then he got lots of injuries and stuff. But this guy is someone who looks pretty decent. Left wing, 23 years old. He seems to be getting back on track in real life as well by the looks of things if he's 81 again. But you see 19.5, you can acquire for them, but I do find you can get them cheaper if you don't bother inquiring. So if we look at that, sort of lowball them at first. So if I say 17.5. I have no, I do not think that they'll accept this. I don't expect them. It's more just trying to lowball them and then try and get them into that whole thing where they say they'll negotiate a price with this. So I find that much easier to sort of do it that way. Yannick Carrasco, he looks like a sick player. I did try to sign him eventually in my Liverpool career mode, but I waited too long and they wanted way too much for him. But if you can get him straight up, you can see that maybe 30 million might be able to get him, but we're going to lowball him, start off with, and see if they'll negotiate with us. And the next player is, what a surprise, it's Marco Roy. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sign him. Everybody signs him on career mode when you're a Liverpool player. In fact, just everybody in career mode seems to sign him. 88 red. I can understand why. I signed him in my proper Liverpool one eventually. But yeah, for this purpose of this video, I'm going to try and avoid Marco Reus for Liverpool. Okay, we're looking at Manchester United's Anthony Martial. He's a left mid on here, but I feel he could play left wing. Obviously, he's played striker before, and I think he'd really suit that left wing role there. So I think he'd be a pretty good signing. 23.5 is what we're going to open up the initial offer with. And we're looking at 21-year-old Raheem Sterling. No, I can't even. Okay, you might be wondering why I'm showing the training. Now, the reason being is if you can train these players up, they can become valuable, can become useful in your squad, which means you don't need to buy players in those positions. Players I've picked that you should probably try and progress, try and get them going up is these players on the screen here: Grujic, Alexander-Arnold, Stuart, Gomez, and Moreno. Now, Moreno, I can give a take. You could swap him out with Ojo or someone if you would want to, or even Carrier, someone like that. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep Moreno. So I'm going to train him up because he's promising. All these players have got the promising thing. I think Grujic really grew. Like, he was the most out of all the players on my personal career with Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold is 17 years old, a 67 rated right back. I think he's definitely the heir to Klein's throne, so train him up. Stuart can be a valuable squad player for you. Gomez didn't really go for me that much, but he's worth a shot, I think. And there you go, Marina as well. Brannigan's another one who I'd look at training, but I think some of these guys are really, like I said, they're really worth training them up. So yeah, definitely look to train these guys. I mean, even if you don't end up using them very often, you could end up selling them later on as their overall would have gone up, and as with their value had gone up as well. So yeah, that's another thing to look at. Now, I've asked for some scouting reports on a few players. I've sent out a few offers. We're going to advance here. Now, Atletico Madrid straight up rejected the offer for Carrasco, but you can see here, Anthony Martial, Man United said they want 47 million, so you can get them down a fair bit, I think. So yeah, we'll have to go in for a few offers for some of these guys. Okay, my next offer for Martial, obviously they want 47 million. I offered them 23 initially, but you don't need to offer 47 million or anywhere near it. I think you can usually get them for only a few million more. Okay, we got two more teams getting back to us. This is a good sign that they're actually giving us unacceptable and coming back with a fee. Okay, we finally got Atletico to give us a fee for Carrasco there, 44.5 million. I think we can get them down a fair bit, but Carrasco is definitely someone you can look at getting who's realistic. And when I say realistic, I mean realistic in actually getting, not in real life. I just want to show you this real quick. You see, I've got 26 million here, 750,000. You might be thinking, why the 750,000? Why not 500 or something? For some reason, like, I feel that it kind of works better when I add those extra weird sort of amounts on at the end there, rather than just straight up whole numbers. So feel free to do that. I feel it does help out a little bit rather than going straight up to 27 million. It does save you a little bit in the long run. Okay, we've got a transfer offer here for Roberto Firmino. Now, he's 24 years old, 82 rating. Centre forward, he's kind of in a weird position where we're covered in the midfield. He's probably better off being used as a striker, but he's not really stats-wise that great of a striker. I've used him and he's kind of okay, but you can get other players in who would be better. So if you can get a good fee for him, that'd be good. I'll ask for 47.5 million. If they want to go for that, go for it. But I'm not too worried about selling Firmino, to be honest. And there you have it, the first player, or the first team that has accepted our offer, 26.75 million there for Yannick Carrasco. I think that's a pretty good deal, to be honest with you. We can offer 60,000, 4 years. I'm not going to worry about a squad role. If it's needed, we'll do it. But if not, it just saves a lot of hassle in terms of them going, oh, you said I was a crucial player. Why are you not giving me game time? That sort of stuff. Schalke offered transfer sum of 30 million. When they start doing those weird numbers, that means I think that's all they can offer. So I'm not going to bother with that. I don't want to sell him for that amount. And there you have it, a second player that has a transfer bid accepted. It's Anthony Martial, 29 million. Obviously, he wants some more wages, which something a lot of people don't usually, not too worried about wages, but I'm really weird with the wages in the sense that, like, it does play a big factor in whether I sign a player or not. And there's an extra 2.5 million transfer budget for getting to the knockout stages of that Invitational Cup, so that's pretty nice. And there you have it. It's our third offer to be accepted there. This time it's for El Shaarawy. There you go, 23,750,000. Wages a little bit hefty, but yeah, it's another player. And then once we get a few players in, we can then decide on what player we want to take in. Now you can see here, this is the third trading session that I've done. Moreno's moved up to a 78. Grujic has moved up to a 72. So they are progressing quite quickly, these guys. Now we're going to go in for Guy. I actually did put in an offer for 10 million, hoping that would sort of get them into the whole negotiating phase, but that didn't draw them in there. Hopefully 13 million more. Hopefully they just accept it straight up. You'll be able to see here we have two players who've accepted contracts there. We have Carrasco, we have Martial, and I think it's going to be out of those two who we buy. Carrasco seems like the better deal. He's a little bit older, but in terms of fitting into our squad, he's a little bit cheaper. Obviously, the money's not a huge issue, but I feel like Carrasco is just, I don't know, I feel like Carrasco would be a better option for me for this side, but maybe leave in the comment section below. Should have went for Martial. I'm going to go with Carrasco though. So with Carrasco moving into the team, this is probably the strongest team we've got at the moment there. He moves into the left wing position. Coutinho drops into the centre mid position. You can rotate whoever you want in the centre mids. You've got so many strong centre mid players there. Mane is very, very good in the game star age. Like, you're pretty set. Like, you don't really need to change too much with Liverpool. But yeah, Carrasco, I think, really strengthens that front three. Sorry, I shouldn't say front three because you had Coutinho there. He was rated better, but he strengthens the front three and the midfield overall. Okay, I believe this is the semi-finals of the Invitational Cup. Hopefully we can get a win here. We got beat. So, yeah, maybe I should have went for the easiest option. Would have got a little bit more money, but not to worry. You can see that we get an extra 2.975 million to spend on the transfer budget. Would have got an extra, probably same amount if we had won the whole competition, but yeah, money is not really an issue at the moment. You can see there, Stefan El Shaarawy also accepted the offer for the contract, but obviously we've already brought in Carrasco, so don't have to worry about these two guys. We'll reject them. But there are some different options that you could use if you want to be Liverpool. In my opinion, they're two guys you could definitely buy who quite cheap. Okay, Valencia come back and said they want 25 million for Gaia. Obviously, I'm not going to be paying that much. Hopefully, 15 million will be enough to get us over the line there. We're willing to pay a little bit more. So as you can see there, Alexander-Arnold and Stewart both going up one. So 17-year-old Alexander-Arnold is already up to 68 rated. So that is brilliant stuff. And there we have it, just as I expected, 15 million like it was when I did my normal. So we have it just as I expected, 15 million like it was when I did my normal save. Jose Gaia and 30,000 in wages is very, very good as well. Because a lot of times you can get some of these guys for cheap and they have huge wages, which kind of evens things out a little bit. But yeah, I think this guy is a sick player. If definitely bring him in there. He's very, very, very good. Okay, we got an offer for Roberto Firmino, 27.5 million from Sunderland. I won't be selling him for that much, but 45 million if I want to offer that, go for it. Okay, Hamburger put in an offer for Origi. He's not someone who I'll be looking to sell him. He's 21 years old, 78 rated. He's physically, he's very, very good. He's quite tall. He's fast. So he's one of those players, if you can build him up, definitely try and keep him around. He's good. At least, he's a good squad player. Okay, here we go. Lucas Leiva. Was kind of expecting to get an offer for him at some point. 9 million. We're going to pop it up to 12 million. I think that's something that Fiorentina would be willing to go for. But yeah, for 29 years old and he's 80 rated, Lucas is not going to get in the first team. I think we could do with those extra funds. Okay, a second offer in 2 days for Origi. I'm just going to reject all offers because I have no intentions of selling him. Okay, an offer for Jordan Henderson. Once again, rejecting all offers for him. He's the captain. Don't want to get rid of the captain. Hendo ain't going nowhere. Okay, here we have it. Gaia has accepted his contract, 30,000. That leaves us still with 24 million to spend. Add in the Lucas deal there, and we've probably got 30 plus million still to spend if you want to do that. I don't think we need anybody apart from these few guys we've brought in. Okay, so we've made 2 signings now. Nobody's left yet, but Gaia, he's in there. So far we've brought in Carrasco and Gaia. To be honest, if you're looking at that side, there's not anybody who I can see and identify as someone we need to get rid of. Maybe a centre back, but I mean Lovren and Matip are actually quite good in this game and get the job done. And even then, you got another option in Sarko, and Klavan's actually pretty decent. But yeah, you got plenty of options for centre back position. If someone were to come in for an offer for them, I'd probably get rid of them and then try and bring in a pretty good centre back. But I mean, if you're really sort of paranoid about having to have youngsters, you can go ahead and bring in a Sewell or someone. But me personally, I'm fine with Lovren and Matip at the moment. And then in January, if you're not happy with them, you have the funds there to go in and splurge on someone. Okay, so Sunderland came back with 32 million. I'm just going to reject this one straight up. Not going to bother negotiating because it's got the weird numbers. They're not going to go for any higher. 36.5 million for Daniel Sturridge. You can probably get way more from that, but just I'm not really looking at selling Daniel Sturridge. He's very, very good in this game. I'm sure everybody's aware of that. You can tell by Ultimate Team he goes for a fair bit. So, yeah, that's a good indication of if someone's good at the game or not. Okay, Fiorentina have come back and said they will offer 11 million for him. We'll go for 11.5. Actually, you know what? Let's just straight up accept that because I don't want to risk it. We'll get Lucas out of the club. If you want to be a bit of a tight ass, you can get a little bit more. for him, but I mean 500,000. It's not really a big deal for a team like Liverpool with so much money that we've got. How much money have we actually got left? We have 24 million left, 179 in wages. So it's not like we're scrapping for cash here. So we don't have to worry about the extra 500,000. Okay, we're getting so many offers for Firmino. I'm just going to keep asking for 45 million. If someone accepts, I'll let you know then. Now we have it, the first player to be sold from our team. It's Lucas Leiva, 11 million. That's pretty good. We get 8.5 million. So it does show you, even though you're getting 11 million for him, you're not receiving that full amount anywhere near it. Actually, 8.5, a little bit less than what I actually realized I'd be getting. I was thinking maybe like 9.5, 10 maybe, but yeah, 8.5. That's a bit disappointing. Now, right here, something to look at. Lazar Markovic. It's kind of like bringing in your own little transfer. You'd pay back the 852,000 there to recall him from his loan. He's 78 rated. He's only 22 years old. Like, he's really, really good in the game. Look at his sprint speed, acceleration. He seems perfect for a right wing, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to do it right now, but you can do it. I know if you leave him, he'll probably keep progressing as well. So, I mean, maybe you can use him next season as well. It's an option. I definitely think he's someone you can use in the future for Liverpool. Okay, I'm going to look at a centre-back here. This will probably be the final signing for this video, but it's not someone we definitely need or anything, because as you know, we've got Sarko, we've got Lovren, we've got Matip, we've even got Klavan as well, Ilori. We've got lots of centre-backs there, but just if you're looking for someone to replace Sarko, if you do end up selling him, or any other centre-backs, I'd look at maybe Toprak. I think he'd be a pretty good good player to sign. So I'm gonna open with his value. Like, this is a good way to get him, just straight up his value. Sometimes I'll accept, sometimes like usually you'll at least get into the negotiating phase. And there you have it, Joe Gomez moving up to 70 rated, so it's taken him about 6 or 7 training sessions, he's moved up to 70. Okay, so Bayer Leverkusen have said 38 million for him. We're going to offer 25, it's just straight up 25 there. I think that might be enough to get him, to be honest. Okay, FC Nantes have come in with 2.4 million offer for Cameron Brannigan. That is over his value. If I was, like, as a Liverpool supporter, I've been trying to bring through these guys. But, I mean, go try and sell them if you want. I'm going to reject this. But, yeah, definitely if you're looking to just get some quick cash, he'd be someone you could maybe sell. And there you go. Transfer offer accepted, 25 million. It just shows you how ridiculous some of these... Like, I see lots of people on YouTube when they do career modes and stuff, and they're like, oh, I want bloody 40 million for someone. They go, okay, I'll give you 40 million. Like, you don't need to do that. You really do not need to do that. You can just offer them a few million more than what their value is. Obviously, that doesn't work all the time, but a good chunk of the time it does work. As long as you offer, like, as long as they're not asking for like 90 million, you offer them like 50. Then they'll definitely say no. Okay, this is interesting. Wolfsburg have gone all the way up to 41 million. I'm still holding out for that 45 million. If they want Firmino, they'll have to give up 45 million. And now we have it, Toprak has accepted the contract there. 25 million for him, 90,000 wages. I think that's a pretty good deal for him, and he'll come straight into the starting side. So with Toprak coming into the side, you can see here, I've put him in the centre position. Matip retains his spot. Lovren is there, and Klavan drops out. Sarko is also there as well. Okay, Wolfsburg have come back and said they do not believe Firmino is worth that much. That's totally fine. But if you sold him, I mean, you would have had so much funds, including the remaining ones we already had there. Or if we didn't even sign Toprak, because we only signed Toprak kind of just to show you other players we could have signed if you got rid of Sarko. But, I mean, you could have went and splurged on someone. You could have even got Royce. Okay, and offer for Simon Mignolet, I would just straight up reject this, unless I'd only sell him if he asks to be sold, which you probably will if you don't play him often, because Karius is much better. But yeah, at the moment, Mignolet is not someone like backup keepers who are actually good. They're pretty tough to find, to be honest. Here we go, an offer for Lovren, 21.5 million. Now, it was actually Sarko who I was getting offers from Barcelona. That's who I sold Sarko to before. But, I mean, Lovren, he's 27. He's probably better to sell than Lovren. I'm going to ask for 35 million. If we sell him, it doesn't really bother me too much. But, yeah, 35 million, I think that would be a great deal for Lovren. Barcelona have got the money to spend that sort of cash. Okay, Barcelona have said 31 million is what they're offering. We're going to ask for a little bit more. We'll go up to 33 million, and they should accept that one there, and Lovren should be on his way to Barcelona. What a dream move for Lovren. Who would have thought? Okay, so the first game against Arsenal is coming up there, and this is the team that we've got. This is the best team that we've got. Here is the bench. It's a very, very, very strong team. Lovren obviously looking to be leaving, but we've also got Alexander-Arnold is a good little prospect there. Elori, Brannigan, Ings is a good player you can use there. We do have Sarko somewhere. He's on the bench now. I forgot about that. But yeah, we do have quite a lot of depth. Wijnaldum and Klavan at the bottom there. I really should sort them by overall. But at the moment, that's our bench. That's our starting lineup. It's pretty darn strong there. Might look at Mane as being a bit of a weakness, but let me tell you, Mane is very, very good in this game. And Gaia has injured himself there. He's out for 4 months. Thank God we still got Moreno. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Danny Ings, 77 rated, he's 24 years old. He's kind of like a third string striker, fourth string as well for Mino. I forgot about him. You definitely can get rid of him. Probably won't get much more than what they're offering here. I'm going to reject him though, just because it's just nice to have more squad players. And I don't really feel like I've got any need to sell Danny Ings. We've got lots of money. Yeah, like I said, no real reason to sell him. Okay, there you go. Dejan Lovren is looking like he's going to go to Barca. They've accepted that they're going to match at 33 million there for Lovren. So good thing we did bring in Toprak. There you have it. Lovren is off to Barcelona, and we got 29 million to work with. I'm not going to spend that. I'm just not going to spend it for the sake of it. Another for Nathaniel Klein. He's got bad form, but there is no way in hell I'm selling Nathaniel Klein. No way. Okay, this is interesting. You have your offer for Sarko. Now, because I sold Lovren, I wouldn't get rid of him. But if it had been the other way around, would have perfectly been fine with getting rid of Sarko. In fact, I did, like I've said earlier. And there you go, Alexander-Arnold moving up to 69 rated in this short period of time. So it just shows you train this guy up. Okay, there's 2 hours left in this transfer window. There's an offer for Firmino. It's just at the point where even if we get the money, we haven't got enough time to, you know, put it into the team, so I'm not going to bother. An offer for Branding, I'm going to reject this one, but just show you this guy must have some decent potential if Arsenal, and I forget what the other team came in for him, but it was another decent team. Okay, so 1 hour left in the transfer window there. Lovren deal was in the top deals for quite a while, but we're going to move over. The transfer window has slammed shut there. I think this has been a pretty successful transfer window. Okay, so in review, let's look at the players that we brought in. We brought in Carrasco, 26.75 million there. Guy for 15. Leva left for 11 million, which is a pretty good deal for us. Toprak in for 25. Lovren left for 33. So we actually got a really, really good deal, same age, and we ended up gaining a few million, as well as getting a better player, in my opinion. So pretty good transfer window, in my opinion. Also, to finish the video, let's take a look at a squad report, see if anyone's progressed well. Karius 1, Klein 1, Matip no. Toprak's up to an 85, Moreno 78 there. Should have been playing a bit and trained. Coutinho 86. Anyone else there? There we go. Kevin Stewart up 2 through to the training he's done. Grujic's up 2. Alexander-Arnold 2. Maguire up 1. Haven't trained him. Gomez I have trained. He's up 2. This guy haven't. Anyone else? Meninga's down 1. He's just going to keep going down. That's what happens when you're 39 years old. Wijnaldum's up 1. I'm actually surprised. Mane actually progressed very well on my one, but I mean, I haven't been playing. So if you get players in form, they do progress a lot quicker. But yeah, Carrasco hasn't gone up. Bit disappointing, but everyone else seems to be traveling pretty well. Leave in the comment section below. What did you think of my transfers? Good, bad, ugly, shit, disgusting? Just let me know. Anyway guys, that is the end of the video. This is the first time doing it, so leave in the comment section below any improvements I can make to the series. Also, if you did happen to enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. It is a fairly new channel, so it is essential that you kind of do it. So yeah, also leave a like as well. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. They both have the same username. It's at MrLegalMyT. My Facebook page is in the description below, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye guys.